Hey up guys, how's it going? Welcome back to T-Side Takeover. My name's Nath, and as you've probably noticed, this is going to be a bit of a jumped episode. It did go from episode 3. This is kind of going to unofficially be episode 8. There's nothing in between. We're going to do one big catch-up video. Someone requested it basically. I did stop this series on YouTube, but I had someone ask, where is it? I want my slice of Stockton. So we're going to get back onto it. We're going to do one big video, get you caught up. And then from there, we're going to then start doing them regularly, back to back with the Man United save series that we've got going on the channel. So yeah, I do stream this live on a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday and Sunday. If anyone wants to watch it live on Twitch, link will be in the description below. And on that note, let's get into it. Right then, so this is where we left you in episode 3. This was our 3rd season at Stockton. So this was the year 22-23, I believe. Or was it 21? 21-22. There we are, 21-22. We just won the Northern Premier League Premier Division. We won this by 6 points clear, and that obviously took us up next division. And I'll show you exactly how that one finished. Here we are. So in the year 22-23, in our first season in the Vanarama National League North, this is how we finished. And you would probably say, what an amazing performance. You came second. What a good first effort. However, this season was so frustrating. We led the table majority of the season. I'd say probably 80% of it. And by some distance as well. If you kind of look at the numbers there, we got beat by 3 points. And goal difference wise was really tight. So basically 3 points essentially we got beat by. But I will show you the schedule and kind of how it basically, we threw away the title. As you can see, we didn't manage to get playoffs neither as well. So Telford obviously went up as champions, but Stockport, who came 4th, managed to go up in the playoff spots. We got massively FM'd in the playoffs. We had a man sent off and an injury. So royally FM'd. But I'll show you the kind of how our schedule went and kind of show you what happened and why it's so frustrating, even though we came second. So here we are. This is how the league went. And if you just remember how the league table was, we finished just 3 points behind the winners. As you can see, it was kind of a bit of a weird start. Only 2 wins in 6. However, we were unbeaten in 6. We then took a little bit of a hit there. But then out of them games, you're talking one loss in 8 games and 7 wins. So we had a canny good start. And bearing in mind we'd only lost them 2. You could kind of say a cracking start, to be fair, considering it was our first time up there. And as you can see, the season kind of continued. It was very much kind of, we either won most games or drew them. A couple of losses here and there, but nothing to be kind of ashamed about. But when it comes to the end of the season, this is where it really screwed me up. So if you include the playoff game, I think we only get 3 wins in 10 games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So if you include the playoff games, it's 11. If you don't, it's 10. Only 3 wins in 10 games. Bearing in mind that the winners beat me by 3 points. I couldn't really put my finger on what it was. The team performed so consistently throughout. Yes, there was the odd little tiny hiccup here and there, but in general, the team performed amazing majority of the season. You can't expect to win a title in 3 wins in 10 games. And yeah, that was kind of all she wrote, to be honest. I don't even want to tell you what happened next. After 3 wins in 10, I just threw a massive hissy fit, threw my dummy out the pram, all you can kind of say, and I decided, right, formation change, I want rid of X amount of players, I want to do all this and I want to do that. And it cost us massively. This is what it resulted in. Oh God, I don't even want to look at this part. We'll make this part really quick. So started off, I was like, oh, the changes have worked well. However, from there, as you can see, there's not very many greens on the board. If I skip those 2 first games, there's definitely a lot more red and orange than there is green. If this was a traffic light and you were sat there, you would not be happy. How I didn't get sacked this season is beyond me. They must have went off previous form. But yeah, we were shocking and we finished 15th. Bearing in mind, first three seasons, title. 4th season should have been a title. So to then come 15th in the same division after coming second, all I could say was it was purely my fault. I couldn't keep consistent. I couldn't pick a formation. I wasn't happy with the players. Yeah, it was a shocker of a season. Fully chalked off. Moving on to the next one. Season 2024-25. At this point, we've now decided that last season didn't work well. And we went back to the original formation that we played. That formation being the 4-1-3-2. It was looking a little bit like this. You are getting a bit of a cheat there. You are kind of seeing my team that I've got now. However, that was the formation we went back to. It did us some justice, to be fair. It didn't do bad. We kind of did okay. And as you can see, a lot of it was amber and green. We went on a nice unbeaten streak here. I think it was something like 14 games. 4, 9, 13, 14 games unbeaten. And if it wasn't for that one, you're talking 17, 18 games unbeaten. So we had a cracking end to the season. But as you can see, from the bottom there, again, we threw it away. Got to the playoff finals, and we were leading this game. I'll actually show you this game. We were leading it 1-0 up until the 60th minute. Where do I see the bloody goals? The times of the goals. Am I being blind here? Ah, here they are, you fucking idiot. Stuart Emery, he scored in the 23rd minute, and kind of, we were cruising a little bit, to be honest. I had no kind of qualms of how the team were playing. Went quite attacking, with a 4-3-1-2, not in defence. And like I say, we were doing well. However, in the 69th minute, they equalised. We'll show you just how that went. So here we are. In the 69th minute, this is what happens. Why is not a single person, where are you going, and what a finish? I didn't kind of know what was going on there. I've got 3 central defenders who should be around that area. One of those is told to stay back, yet there was absolutely nobody in midfield. I couldn't quite work out what happened there, so that was frustrating. Nothing I could really do about that. A goal kick to their midfielder, 1 through ball, goal. I mean, it doesn't become much more Route 1 than that, does it? So that was 1-1. Even at that point, I was still quite comfortably leading the game, and I thought, I'm going to score here, 100%, I'm going to score. We didn't. We went to extra time, and as you can see, in the 109th minute, they beat me 2-1. Indirect free kick, unbelievably overpowered. I don't know whether it's just against my team or against everybody else's. You tell me in the comments if it is. But indirect free kicks, I have no idea why I concede so many. But yeah, that was us out of the playoff final. And again, missing out on the promotion. So that was 3rd time lucky. And I honestly, on that point, I did think it was our season. We were happy with where we were. York absolutely battered the league. I'll show you the league now. Because York absolutely ran away with it. There was no way I was going to win the league. I was happy not to win the league, just based on the fact that York was so bloody good. Here we are. So this is how this is how it finished up. As you can see, York were way ahead. They were 8 points clear. They won an extra 5 more games than we did. They drew 7 less. We actually lost less games than them and scored more goals. However, look at theirs. Their defence was just insane. Pretty much half anybody else. 40 and 41 were the lowest numbers. Then us on 44. But to concede only 22 goals was just phenomenal. And as you can see, they didn't have the best attack. There was plenty of teams who scored more goals than them. Way more goals than them. There's teams down here in 11th position that scored more goals than York. However, with a defence like that, you can't really argue. And they ran away with the league. But as you'd expect, the size of York compared to the rest of the teams, you'd expect them to do that. So I was happy to go into a playoff and go against them. But Southport nicked it, beat me 2-1. And yeah, let's go again. So this is what happened the following season. So we changed formation because it's still, even though we did a massive turnaround from 15th to 2nd again, I still felt it wasn't quite right. We were still conceding a lot of crosses. And teams, if they had a good wing back and a good wingers, we simply were, I'd say we were lucky to get a result out of those games. And I wanted to kind of really home in on trying to fix those wing back and wing positions, because I felt, for me, in terms of recruitment, the wing backs were the hardest position to fill when I wasn't playing any wingers, because I was expecting so much of them. I could find almost the perfect fullback or the most perfect kind of wing back, but they would never have the other side of the game. Kind of like you'd like to say a bit like Alexander-Arnold Trent. He's not great at defending. He's great at going forward. I'd find that, but then I wouldn't find him coming back. And that is how we were conceding the majority of our goals. So what we did in this season, in 25-26, is we went with a good old 4-4-2. Good old 4-4-2. And as you can see, from the amount of points we got, we absolutely smashed it. It wasn't clean sailing. It wasn't the perfect run. However, we massively turned it round when the team started gelling. Because what I'd say is, obviously changing formation so regularly like I have, the team didn't quite get it to begin with. It wasn't anywhere near right. I think once we got about halfway through the season, maybe it's a little bit less, the team kind of got the formation, they knew the roles. I had a regular 11 that were getting a game every game, and it turned the season round. And I'll show you the results from that season now. So as you can see, as I say, it didn't gel instantly. Our first game we lost, second game we drew, and bearing in mind they're both at home as well. Hereford, although, came second, so you could kind of, at the time we didn't know that, but in the end Hereford came second. Then it clicked. It had a really big impact. Went on a nice little spree, and again, like I say, we had a real dip. So I feel as though if I look at them, majority of those teams finished kind of bottom half of the table. So you'd expect to win them games. Again, obviously we didn't know that at the time, but looking back over the season, these are the teams that you would have expected us to beat. And then we faced some harder teams. FC United, I believe, finished like 4th or 5th in the league. Spennymoor were leading the table for a majority of the season. Gateshead and Brackley, we probably should have done better in those games. But that was our kind of mid-season little wander of form. However, we did play some hard games, so we could deal with that. But then this happened. So from there, we only then lost in the rest of the season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more games. Not a single draw, which for me, I'd rather lose a couple more and win more than draw games. It seems to be the difference across the league if you do that kind of way. And like I say, after that little run of form, we absolutely went on a mad one. And as I mentioned earlier, FC United and Spennymoor were two of the best teams in the league, along with Hereford. Hereford are actually one of the teams who beat us. So you can kind of deal with that. Not ideal, but as you can see, absolutely smashed it barring that. And to be honest, we probably should have won this one as well. We did obviously kind of give players who weren't playing the majority of the season a chance at this point, because we won the season by 11 points clear. So I think it was this game here. That's where we won it, at Gateshead. Which meant in these 3 games, I could kind of play people who wouldn't regularly get the game. And that's what we did, and we still won 2 out of the 3. And Solihull Moor, we should have probably won that game as well. But by this point, I didn't really care. I was so pleased, so relieved to finally bloody get out of that division and up in the leagues. Because at this point, the board we were financially, we were screwed, to be fair. We were 500k in the red. The wages were being slashed twice. At the start of the season, when I came second the first time round, I was on a wage budget of 5.1k. By the end of this one, I was on a wage budget of 2.7, which was by far the lowest in the league by an absolute mile. I don't know if I can actually show you that. Let me see if I can. Unfortunately, I can't show you, which is frustrating. I can't show you the stats of how the wages were, but I know fine well Bury's wage budget was 1.31 million per year. Ours was a casual 156k per year. So Bury were almost 10 times as big as us in terms of wages, and they finished 15th. Came down from the division above and got absolutely battered. What a shocking season for them. But for us, let's say 11 points clear, by far the lowest wage budget in the league. And finally, the club kind of reinvested, and it actually sparked a takeover. But you aren't going to see any of that in this episode. We're going to save that for the next episode, guys, along with the review of how we did in the next division above. So if you want to watch any of that live, head over to my Twitch. I'd stream again. I like to say this quite a lot in the video. I stream on a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Where's this going? And Sunday. Yeah, it's usually around the 3:30 UK time, whatever time that is for you guys. You worked it out yourself. That's where we're going to end it, guys, and we'll catch you in the next one.